Hi everybody, Chris Stokes from Custom Fitness Personal Training Studio here in Amarillo. And today I wanted to give you some tips on how to cook a little bit healthier with healthy oils. So oil cooking, or using oils to cook, can be a healthy part of your diet. We actually need some healthy fats throughout the day. We can get those from lots of sources like nuts, seeds, oils, avocados, cheese. The oils are something that some people kind of get, some people don't, so I thought I might throw some tips out there today and see if we could clear up the air just a little bit on that stuff. So normally, typically, whenever people are cooking, say, chicken or or any type of hamburger or things like that, they're going to end up using something to put in the pan. So a lot of people have the fancy pans, you don't have to put anything in there. Quick note on the non-stick pans is they actually do release toxins into your food. Especially once they start to get flaked and scraping off. So if possible, you want to go more for a stainless steel pan would be a better health return for you. So even if you're using things like that and you don't really need the oils, then you want to find other places to put your oils in your diet or your healthy fats in your diet so that you can make sure and get enough of them, because your body does need them in order to really function at an optimal level. So if you are using them to cook with, a lot of people use butter. Butter's fine if it's a grass-fed dairy butter or even a non-dairy butter, possibly non-soy, non-dairy. You could do that. You could do a clarified butter like ghee. So there's lots of different options there, and again, those are healthy fats as well. But back to today's topic, cooking with oils. So when you cook with oils, a lot of people will choose either coconut, an avocado, sometimes an olive oil to cook with. And so the first tip that I have is to preheat your pan. A lot of times you pull the pan out of the cabinet, put it on the stove, pour in your oils, and then you sit there and spend the next 10 minutes trying to whisk the oil around the pan and everything and hope that it works. And then by the end of it, what happens is when you haven't preheated your pan, you've actually got at least 2 to 3 times more oil than what you really need in there. Sometimes even more than that. So what we want to do is we want to preheat the pan so that way then you get enough heat that you can use much less oil. So again, really cutting that down by 2 to 3 times the amount that you normally would, and then being able to use that throughout the process. And that way then you get the healthy fats, but you don't overdo them, okay? Remember that healthy fats are one of those things where we can take them in moderation. We need them in moderation, but you go overboard with it and you end up with some trouble there. So we preheat our pan, we put the oil of our choice in there. The next goal is to not let it hit that smoke point. So if you've cooked, especially most people's experience with something like olive oil or even canola oil, and you're cooking on the stove, you're waiting for it to heat up, and all of a sudden you see the oil start to smoke and you can smell it. At that point, you've actually turned that healthy fat into a trans fat, and by the time that you consume it, your body's going to see that as an invader. It's going to set up an inflammatory response against it, which means that your intestines are going to start to inflame. Doesn't sound very comfortable. It's not. They basically swell and they kind of fight against the food that you've just put in your body. So rather than nourishment, it looks like an enemy. So we want to make sure that we don't get to that smoke point. So on that note, that leads us to our third point here, which is being selective with the oils that you choose. If you are using an olive oil, you've got to really make sure that you do your research on that, because a lot of times they've been adulterated with other oils and things. Canola oil, as I mentioned, is actually made from corn. A lot of people don't realize that, and corn is highly inflammatory, so it's probably not your best choice. It's also one of the cheaper oils, so it's not as high of quality. Better oils to use might be your coconut oil, your avocado oil, and both of those are high heat oils. So you could cook with them on the stove, you could cook with them in the oven, and be able to maintain their nutrient structure. If you break down the nutrient structure of whatever product that you're using, then the body actually doesn't get any benefit from it. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to kill the nutrient structure of the product. So on that case, if you were to say use hemp oil or flaxseed oil, neither one of those can be heated at all. They need to be used cold or room temperature. If you were to heat them, then they start to lose their nutritional properties. So they might be better, say, as like a salad dressing or on a baked potato or things like that, where you've got a little more flexibility with the heat options. You're not actually cooking them, you're not heating them up, but rather utilizing them just as a dressing on top. So a quick recap here. If you're cooking with oils, that's great. Again, you don't have to. There are other ways to add healthy fat into your diet, but we do need some healthy fat in our diet, so it's a good way to add that in. Cooking with oils, we want to make sure and preheat our pan, get it nice and warm before you add the oil in so you can not use quite as much of it. And then we want to make sure that our oils don't come to a smoke point, and we're doing that because we're making sure that we're being selective with our oils, and then we know our heats on what that oil can contain. So for instance, over at some of the stores you can buy like the sprays of the oils, the cans of them, and they'll tell you on there high heat, medium heat, low heat. And so that gives you a good idea. If you buy an oil in a freezer section, refrigerated section type of thing, then it probably does not need to be heated. But definitely, either do your research on it, or hey, feel free to give us a call or comment, and we'll be happy to help you out. We want to make sure that the foods that you're eating are healthy for you. And we know that you can drastically change your life by eating real food and doing real exercise and just making a few small habit changes here and there. We all tend to live in the same habits day in and day out, and change seems scary and it's a little uncomfortable at first, but as you go through it and you get used to doing it, those habits become subconscious and you have to work less and less to do them. Take my Facebook Lives, for instance. They really were not something that I was very comfortable with in the beginning. Getting onto a camera and talking when there's no one actually asking me questions kind of freaks me out sometimes. So over time it's gotten a little bit better, and that's how habit coaching goes. So our clients come in, they habit coach with us, they work through their issues, and we constantly tweak their programs to create a customized version of what they need at that moment in their life. So if that's something that you've been looking for, if you're tired of trying all this hit and miss fitness stuff, and you're tired of not really understanding the nutrition side, feeling like you're constantly getting on Google searching things or waiting for your friends to tell you what worked for them, we would love to talk to you about how we could create a customized program for you and how that could drastically change your life. And in case you don't know, we do offer a 21-day guarantee where you can try us out, and if it's not the right fit, then we make sure that you're compensated for that. We want to make sure that you're happy here, that everything is the way that you need it to be, but that's where that custom part comes in. So if you'd like to talk to us about a consultation, either comment below or give us a call, 322-3188, and I will talk to you tomorrow.